I had to make myself look good. In this next one, when you go ask for $30 million, investors want to know who's running the ship. So if you do one, you have to prove to investors that you have that expertise in that area to do what you say you're trying to do. Ours included risk factors. You have to detail to an investor the potential risk in this offering and or in the industry. You have to tell them. You can get sued. For example, if I say to you, I'm going to buy 100 houses and I think the repair cost is going to be $7,000, and I think our net in is going to be 40, and I knew very well it was going to be 45 or 50, somebody could sue you. If you aren't willing to divulge all that you know, you can't do one, because someone will come back and sue you. I've been sued several times. Not successfully, but it's just, and it's a bad thing, it's just part of business. It's really not even a bad thing, it's just part of business.
So you're saying even if you go in agreement and you end up doing better than what the agreement says, they'll sue you as well?
You have some very litigious people. There are people who sit down and figure out how they can sue you. You don't think I'm kidding?
Yeah.
There are people who sit down and they figure out how they can sue you. So you can do everything right, and they says, we got him on this detail. Now if I sue you, and I bring a bona fide suit against you, what do you have to do?
Defend yourself.
Before you respond, what do you have to do? You get a lawyer. I don't know any free lawyers. You got to go get a lawyer. Long story short, you're into it now for $5 grand, at least. So you say to the person, you know what, this is crazy. I'll give you 20 grand just to get out of it. So I mean that happens sometimes. I not lost, but I've definitely paid some people to just go away. So the most important thing that I think that we spent time on was something I mentioned earlier in the memorandum, something that's called a subscription agreement. That is what under the Securities Act, anybody ever heard of Regulation D? Regulation D, if you ever look up the private placement memorandum, any offer to sell securities, has to be registered with the Securities and Exchange, under the Securities and Exchange Act of 1933. The only exception that you don't have to register that is that if you meet the guidelines outlined in Regulation D. They call it Reg D if you ever look it up. And there's a lot of rules in Reg D, Rule 501, 503, 505, 506. And we're on the 506. And those regulations dictate who we can offer this investment vehicle to. For example, there's two classes of people under this subscription agreement. There's something called accredited and non-accredited investors. An accredited investor, let me get this a little wrong, so I haven't looked it up in a while. Accredited investor is one who has a net worth of over $1 million, two, has a annual income as a single individual of 200 or a couple that exceeds 300, and three, they have to expect that income, they have to have had that income for the last 2 years and expect it in this year. Those are accredited investors. That rule was slightly changed under the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Investment Act, and it just listed a whole lot of different more entities, like charitable banks fall under what's called accredited institutions. So what the government tried to do is say, Rodney, you can go out and solicit this money from these folks, but we don't want you to go to all mom and pops. There's an accredited and then there's a non-accredited classification. The non-accredited are those folks that don't meet those 3 rules I just mentioned. And on the non-accredited, you can only have 35 people. So like if I wanted to raise $10 million, I could not go out and get 100 people to give me 50 grand. If they didn't meet those 3 criteria. I couldn't do it because they don't want all what they call uneducated investors in your investment vehicle. Fortunately for us, we had no non-accredited investors. All our investors are accredited. It's a real funny story. My largest investor, I met him on a bus in New York City. I was on a bus. God is my witness. I'm on a bus. I'm at LaGuardia. I get on the bus. And the bus driver was talking to me about real estate for some reason. I don't know why he started that conversation. And there was a guy sitting right there. And the guy's just talking to me. I'm tired. I just got off a flight. I just want to go home. And the guy says to me, "Are you in real estate?" I said, "No, not really." I said, "I'm not an investor, but I'm not an agent, but I do this and that." He turned out to be my largest investor. To today, he's still the largest investor. He owns companies in Pakistan, Dubai, America. He sent me $250,000, calls me one day and says, "Hey, can I send you some money?" Yeah, he did. How much? And I told him, "Oh yeah, can you send me a receipt?" Listen, my Linwood mine.
We used to live near Linwood.
Huh?
On the selling thing.
I lived on Linwood and Pingree.
Okay.
No.
My Linwood mine went that way. The Fed mine went that way. So, but you know, that's kind of how you meet people and things happen. But
That didn't work out okay for you?
yeah, it worked out fine. He's actually I have a conference call. He's in Pakistan. I have a conference call with him at 10 o'clock tonight. So, those are some of the things that are involved in a PPM. Regulation D. I don't know. I don't know a lot of people that do them. Ours costs. If you look on the web and you try to create a private placement memorandum, you can do them for as little as $200. I personally would not encourage you to do that because they're boilerplate forms where you just fill them in. And with such a volatile financial document, you don't want to find yourself in a lawsuit 2 or 3 years from now or 3 months from now from some money you got from an individual. And you can ruin your business just by one person suing you. But if you are going to solicit money from anyone, you got to be real careful. Even if you get it from a family member and they're going to support your business, you don't always have to have a PPM, but you have to have some document that lays out the rules of what they expect and what you're offering. And for small businesses, it can be a large expense. I mean, ours costs probably 10 grand. Now I think our agreement only costs 5 grand. That's not true. I bought mine from another guy who raised $100 million, and he charged me 5 grand. But then I had to take that agreement to an attorney, and then have them kind of proves it, and then we kind of jig it. I think all it cost me maybe $10,000. So it wasn't bad, but it helped us raise the money we were looking for. Any questions?
So, how do you, I think you created it for your investment. How do you find, locate an investor who's interested in a PPM versus somebody who's going to go to Wall? Do you target a specific audience for that, or do you target a specific amount of money, a minimum amount of money?
This time we are doing presentations to pension funds, cities, pension funds, and we have 2 meetings scheduled for Australia already for small groups of investors. I'm telling you, one of the things I don't like about coming to Detroit, I just tell you, I'm from Detroit, I tell you this, the mentality here sucks.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks. I just sometimes can't stand coming here. And I go to places, I mean, I'm in Charlotte, I'm in Chicago, I'm in Memphis, I'm in Atlanta, totally different. I'm going like, I just get the life drained out of me sometimes when I come here. And it's the truth. I mean, I'm a native Detroiter, so I can say that.
Right.
I wouldn't say it to another group, but you know, you have to be real careful about who gets in your head and your ear. There's a ton of money in this country. There's no damn recession. I don't care what gas costs. I'm getting a gallon. It could be $5, it could be $3.80. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Matters is making money. And you know, you put the right plan together, put it in front of the right people, and you know, at the end of the day, people want to give you money because people want their money. They want to invest their money, but you got to have your stuff together. You can't walk up to nobody and tell them, "Hey, listen, I want $5 million," and they laugh you out of the room. But you know, real estate here, all these houses for $20,000, $30,000, I'll buy all of them. Because if you see on the news one day that this one guy bought 8,000, it was me. That's what I would really like to do.
That's the one guy did in Macomb County.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
He did. He bought. I forgot how many he bought.
He bought the whole.
He just bought the whole lot.
I mean, that's right.
So now he controls the market. But you know, and two, I think collaborations are good. I mean,